Did you know that you can sublimate on glitter cardstock? I'm going to show you how. Hey there, it's Michelle from Michelle's Party Planet. I'm going to show you how you can make cute Halloween cards with this technique, so let's get started. I started by printing out this design from Creative Fabrica. I'm using my F170 sublimation printer on A-sub paper. You can use this technique on almost any cardstock, but I'm going to use this one from Cricut. This is Cricut Cardstock. It's pretty thick cardstock and it has a nice glitter to it. I recommend using light colors, that way your designs will show up nicely. I'm just going to trim this down so that it fits over my design and I don't have any waste. Now that I have it the size I want, I'm going to go ahead and place the print over the top of the glitter, and then I'll secure it with heat tape. I'm also going to be using Sublimation butcher paper, and I'll be using this to protect my press and my heat plate. You want to make sure you use butcher paper or parchment paper when sublimating so that you don't get any ink bleed on your heat plate or on your designs. Start by putting a piece of parchment paper down on my Cricut AutoPress, and then place the glitter cardstock on top. Make sure that the back of your printed paper is facing up, and then place a piece of parchment paper on top of that. You can use an easy press or any other heat press to do this. I'm going to go ahead and set my heat press to 390 degrees, and I'm going to be pressing for 50 seconds. This is the time and temperature that has worked well for me using this cardstock, but you may want to change yours for depending on what you're using. Once it's done, you go ahead and just take off the print. It's going to be hot, so just carefully remove the print from the cardstock and it'll reveal your design. There is a small section that didn't get pressed as well as the other areas, but that's okay. I'm pretty happy with the results overall. If you're using a regular heat press or an easy press, you can apply more pressure to make sure you have even pressing on all the areas. The camera doesn't capture the glitter as much as it does in real life, but I am happy with it and it looks pretty good. And also there wasn't a lot of ink left over on my sublimation paper, which means I had a pretty good heat transfer. Since I will be making cards with these designs, I'm going to trim out the white with my paper cutter. I won't be using my Cricut machine for this project. I'm going to just use my paper cutter and whatever else I have on hand. I have tons of scrapbooking supplies, so I'm hoping that I can make some cards using those supplies that I have already. Also in my stash are these watercolor Cricut note cards. I actually like the texture of these cards, that's why I chose to use these, and these are actually the right shape for my project. But you can also easily make some cards on your own with some cardstock and just fold them to the size that you need. I have a lot of scrapbook paper, so I pulled out some scrapbook paper for Halloween that I have that will match this design pretty well. And I'm just trimming it so that it can make a good background on my card. I'm going to attach it to my card with this tape runner. To add some dimension to the card, I'm going to use some 3D foam tape, and I'll just put that on the back of the glitter cards that we made. Just center them on top of the card, and I'm all done with that part. You can stop here and just handwrite a note inside the card and you're good to go. But I'm going to check my scrapbook supplies to see if I have anything that will match. My handwriting stinks, so if I can find something that will look nice and match the card, that'll be best. So I have this pouch full of some die cuts that I have from my scrapbook supplies. I did find a couple of things that might work, but nothing really looks that great, so I decided to look through my stamp collection. So I found these clear stamps that are Halloween themed, and I think that'll work just fine. I'm using a clear stamp block so that I can apply the ink to my stamp. And now I'm just going to apply some black ink to my clear stamp, and then I'm going to stamp each card. Of course, when you make your cards, you can change up the sentiment, or you can make them all the same like I did. I think these came out pretty cute, and I'm very happy that I was able to use a lot of my supplies and show you this technique of how to sublimate on glitter cardstock. So if you're looking for more ideas on how you can sublimate or use your Cricut machines, be sure to like and follow for more. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you leave them below, and as always, thank you for watching. See you next time.